It's a glorious May morning and we are open for business. I thought this painting would be welcoming to people. So I've set our conservatory up as a gallery space and I have tried to hang plenty of pictures. The cat is rather confused about what's going on and next door's cat keeps coming in, so I think we'll have a fight fairly soon. I thought I'd try and start a little bit of debate. The cow was painted from an AI generated image and I deliberately tried to distort it and almost give it a slightly cartoon feel, but I use texture on the canvas and it's painted with watercolour because the real world has texture and life, whereas of course AI doesn't. Greetings cards are always popular and I've put some unframed watercolours in the browser. And then round the edges I've got lots and lots and lots of paintings. Let's go through them. This is a local scene. I live just outside Reading and it used to be called Biscuit Town because Huntley and Palmer's, a huge biscuit manufacturer, was here. And then this was a painting that I did a long time ago when I went through a phase of going around junk shops and finding interesting and ornate frames and then trying to paint pictures that suited them. And I found this frame and of course I thought, a horned hare, a jackalope. Yep, that would certainly suit. But then here's something a little more traditional, watercolour of a chicken. I've got a few little ones up here, including watercolour on black. I thought if we had any small visitors, that might make them laugh. A wolf there, kestrel with a poem, and the peacock with a poem as well. And I put the kingfisher there because its title comes from a poem. Sadly, I couldn't get rid of all the junk that we have to store here. But I think if you're coming to an open studio, you've got to be realistic. It isn't a gallery. So then I've got lots of my ink resist work all mounted up. And then a few of my travel inspired pieces as well. Raccoon, kangaroo, oh, back to the UK. I saw some wonderful beetles this morning. I need to go and bother them and see what they actually were. They were flying around our raspberry canes. I love this piece and I'm really surprised it hasn't sold yet. It's very detailed, but I did put in a little rebellious ladybird. This is very recent, the hare. This is an older piece, which I really like. It's funny, a few people have said to me, oh, can you see the fish? And the eye of the sheep, I can absolutely see what they mean. It almost looks like there are fish in there. That was not deliberate. Pen and wash eagle coming into land. I do a newsletter every couple of weeks, so I certainly would hope that people might sign up for that. And you can too if you're not already on my list. A few pins left. This is all I've got left after I had them made from a couple of paintings. A few stickers, then some of my handmade bookmarks. They are lurking underneath the crocodile and the cassowary and the kangaroo from our trip to Australia. I've put out a few sketchbooks and journals because people love looking through and seeing what you've been doing in your experiments. This is my travel journal from Australia, so I've put that out for people to look through. And then this is just a photo book I had done with lots of my paintings in, because actually this is probably the most paintings I've ever had on display in one place. Literally everything I could find is on display. But even so, someone's bound to say, oh, have you got a painting of? And at least they can look through this book and see some of my past work. And then this is very recent work. After our trip to Costa Rica, I love these two. It's so nice to see them hanging together. But alongside another of my Australia-inspired pieces, and a piece inspired by the birds flying past our window. We live near a big lake, so always get the Canada geese. Got information about other upcoming events, and hopefully people will leave some nice comments. The acorn stamp is if you visit 5 out of the 8 of the Acorn Open Studios, you'll go into a draw for a bag of goodies, so that's my stamp. Just realised that the sign for the studio is in the wrong direction. It's fine if the door's shut, but it's such a gorgeous day, it's open. Such a lovely day. I hope people will come and enjoy the garden. And because I've run out of space inside, I thought I would hang a few outside. Tomorrow's meant to be very wet, so I will not be able to do this. I was very mindful of health and safety. We've got an apple tree that I regularly hit my head on, so I have put signs, and we have quite a deep pond, so I've tried to fence that off so I don't have any people end up in the water, because that would be rather unfortunate. I have no idea how busy it's going to be or not, but I thought if people have made the effort of coming to visit, then I could make the effort of giving them refreshments. But if I'm busy, I won't be able to do it. So I've put a bit of self-service here with some boiling water and tea bags and coffee. And of course, if anyone would like to make a donation to Parkinson's, then that would be great. And I will send the money off to the charity. We really like this gazebo. We bought it last year because the weather was so dreadful, so at least we could be outside in the garden and dry. So now follow the path, mind your head. Don't trip over the uneven stones. And welcome to my studio. I'm just outside our veggie plot, which is going bananas now that sun's come out. And the studio did get a bit of a lick of paint earlier this year, so I think the frogs are looking good. So come on in. Now I have tidied up, you might not believe this, but I am going to be working because I've got loads to do. Just finishing off a few bookmarks that I was doodling yesterday. And this is where I work, this is where I do my writing, and this is where I do my painting, and storage, and more storage, and these are some projects I'm working on. And I've put out some sketchbooks and past projects that I thought people would enjoy flicking through. This is from 30 Faces in 30 Days that I've just completed. It's my little round journal that I Haven't done anything in for ages, to be honest, but it's waiting for me. It's a little sketchbook that I've done some urban sketching in, and little demonstrations. And when I go out with urban sketches in Reading, I often take this little book. So I think that'll be nice for people to have a flick through. And then they're welcome to look through my rather extensive library of books. We can talk about, oh my goodness, paint if they want. And then, of course, on the wall, a few more pictures so that people can enjoy those and see. I think that's fairly representational of my work, in that I've got the owl with watercolour and ink, I've got work on canvas, I've got more traditional work on paper, some of my gold. Then this is all textured, all that background is textured, so that's very recent. So yeah, hopefully that will give people a bit of a flavour of what I do. I've tried to hide the utter mess, but without that much success. And I have put my lovely neon sign on, which does say, it's probably a bit flickery on here, embrace the chaos. So I hope people enjoy the visit to the studio. It's reality. It hasn't been overly tidied, but hopefully no one will trip and fall in the pond and the frogs won't get bothered. We're open today and then over the weekend, and then the bank holiday weekend if you can come. If you've seen a picture that you like the look of and want to know a price or more about it, obviously give me a shout. I've done special prices for some of these. These are older works which for one reason or another haven't sold, so I've put special prices on all of them, which I will honour for anyone who can't visit, of course, and I can post anywhere in the world. I have the technology.